Hello everybody, I hope you've been enjoying Mystic Week because we certainly have.
Yep.
Today we are here for the wish list for the Mystic class. This is the list video we do during the each of the theme weeks, and it's been very fun so far, and some of them have come true. I would say even actually one of the ones that we're going to be talking about today, we got a little of that in this one.
Do we?
Yeah, the I get a thotha, yeah. I think we kind of got that a little bit,
Bit.
But we want to see more of it, so these are just kind of like some dreams that we want, some desires for the Mystic class going forward into the future. Let's start with one of my first one, which is a skill-based Mystic or more skills for the class. I like skills a lot, and I like investigators that synergize with skills. I think that right now we actually have like a pretty close version with like Norman Withers and the like Astronomical Atlas and his ability, but I think that's more of a power of Norman Withers just having like a really good ability and signature rather than him being like skill based.
Yeah.
So I want like a Mystic Investigator that has some sort of skill synergy built into them, which I think would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be neat to see someone like some kind of the Prodigy, and they can play innate skills and maybe expert skills for the classes.
Yeah,
like some sort of Silas Darsh.
Yeah, and like as a lightning bolt once per round, you can commit the top card of your deck to a test and successfully put into your hand.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. Yeah.
Maybe you have to like pay resources or do some other dumb thing.
Yeah. It would just be cool to see. I think that would just be a really fun thing to have happen.
There's a lot of neat things I can do with that. And Mystic has some fun skills.
They do, yeah. And I think like the Mystic design, they stay kind of the class that are a little bit weird. And I think that some of their skills show that, like Prescient's very fun. We're going to be talking about more of that in the future. And even like the one where you place a doom or refill, like I think stuff like that is.
Yeah, like they do have a fair number of skills. They're just kind of niche in what they do.
Yeah, and I feel like the Mystic skills should be kind of about repetition because their effects are very good, but like they're one of those things where like whenever I'm playing a Mystic skill, like it's nice, but I would love it if I could resolve it twice because then I would feel like it was really impactful, and I feel like that would be one of those things that's kind of the space that would be fun to do. Like I don't know, but.
And maybe get like a Survivor Mystic who can discard a card or discard 2 cards or something to copy a skill that you've committed to a test.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Probably kind of broken, depending on what their card pool is like, but.
But we're not here to talk about balance. We're just about what we want. Me.
A little bit, but not on this one.
Yeah, not on this one.
Yeah, not this one specifically.
Yeah, no. This one is just me. Put it in my gullet. I want to eat. All right, next one we got here from you, Travis. Cards that use trauma as a cost.
Yeah, I want to see big flashy spells that you use trauma as a resource.
We actually
I understand that's tough to balance, but.
Well, this is actually a through line that we've actually, because we did a Mystic podcast ages ago where we did like a class retrospective of where they were, where we want them to be.
Yeah.
And you said that then, I want this there. And then we did a series where we challenged our community to design cards, and you said they should do this one. And it's continuing here today. This is something you've wanted for a very long time.
Yeah, like I really like the theme that Mystics have in general of, or the alleged theme that they have of like using powerful magics that aren't meant for humans, which shines through a lot better in, I think Eldritch Horror did a really good job of it.
Yeah, with the reactions on the cards.
Yeah, like where you would flip them over after you do the spell, and then something would happen based on the number of successes you have, and for some of the minor magic, you might get a boost. For some of the really powerful spells, like just nothing bad happens.
Yes,
if you failed by enough, your like mind would get melted or something. And I wish more of the Mystic card pool reflected those sort of downsides. Like Shriveling, Clairvoyance, Azure Flame, those ones are all nice, those first couple cycles of spells. But we don't see that too much anymore. And I think that using trauma would be, as a resource for that, would be neat.
Yep.
It would also help put pressure on things like In the Thick of It and Arcane Research. As an actual cost.
Yes. Yeah. So it's not just like an auto. Yeah. Just put it in because
it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And I mean, like when we did the one with the community designs, like there were a lot of cool like groundwork designs to show that this actually could be something that could be explored. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be cards that play, right? It could be like you could have like an otherworldly ally or something like that. Maybe you've tamed a Night Gaunt, and you have to take a trauma to put in your deck as well.
Yeah.
Something like that could be neat.
All right, I'm going to kind of go off of this on like the more, because I think Mystic's very fun in what they can use as cost, because I have more cards that use drawing and encounter cards as a cost.
I was going to talk about this on the last one.
Because like we saw that actually a lot in the early game. We saw like
Yep.
Drawn to the Flame and then Delve Too Deep, which as we know kind of has been solved at this point.
Yeah.
But like that's a cool part of the Mystic class that I think is, and we kind of see that with the new card, the event where you draw all the cards during the Mythos phase to get like a positive Mythos phase next turn.
I honestly, I saw that, and I didn't even think that's a card they wanted to print. They felt compelled to
They're just
throw a
like,
bone to Gloria.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, this doesn't break the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people can probably make this work in other places.
Yeah.
But like having the cards that it's just like, even like an ally that's kind of above rate, but like when they came into play, you would like have to draw an encounter card, like because it also like is such an evocative thing for the mythos of what that means, right? Drawn to the Flame, it tells you like what the card name is, like what the effect is, how like why that exists, and I feel like there's so much like flavor, but also like function and other things that can be really cool.
We
with that.
could have like you could have like spells that you could. You investigate, add your brain to your book, and then if you succeed, you can draw up to like 2 cards from the encounter deck to gain that many additional clues, or to do that much additional damage or something. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Or allies that are not people, like a Shantak or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like in order to do its effect, you have to draw a card from the Mythos deck,
Yeah.
and it like moves you. It like probably I don't know Luke Robinson's you or some shit.
Yeah, it moves you like 2 locations or 3 locations
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that. Or that'd be cool.
There's in Marvel Champions, one of my favorite heroes I played is Star-Lord. He has a mechanic where like it works a bit differently in Arkham, where like you get like face down encounter cards in front of you, and then like you draw all your face down encounter cards during the enemy phase, right? But in that one you get rewarded for the more cards you have in front of you, because he's basically like a reckless son of a bitch, and he's like, I can survive anything.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of flavor. Like I wish it even had the same thing. Like maybe it didn't like put a card in front of you now, but like it says like a put down a card in front of you, and then you have to draw that during the next like Mythos phase too, right?
Those would be some neat like economy cards too, where like it's additional cost you play it, and then you set aside additional cards from Mythos phase to draw, and then you like get 2 cards, draw 2 cards for each Mythos card you set aside. You'll gain 3 resources for each Mythos card.
Like
you
that would that would be really fun, and like I like that kind of like bravado that comes with it. I think it paints a really good picture.
Yeah, it would also be very on theme for Mystic, where you're like, I'm the best sorcerer there ever was.
Yeah.
And then the Mythos phase comes around, and you're like, oh god.
I'm nothing. I'm dirt. I'm dirt. All right. Better Doom payoffs.
Yeah, the ones we have suck. We have enough. I think there's enough support cards now to like between. I mean, Sinner is still kind of a ridiculous overpacked card, but between that and the ally that
El Rubash,
El Rubash, and we have the upgraded Midnight Ritual, and like the cards that surround the archetype are good. I think
getting better and better, and
yeah, but the cards that like you actually would put Doom on just suck.
it's still kind of just like Baron Samdi, eh? Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need some kind of like clue or damage compression to really make it work. Like Cat Mask is great. The Hollow Chalice overperforms. But
the other assets not so much.
Yeah, like the dowsing staff is like fine, but it's not good.
Well, I mean, and we already have seen some like Doom payoffs in the form of like David Renfield, and like we know he's good, right? Like just effects like that where like they scale with Doom. Just more of those.
I would argue that he's not a payoff for Doom. He uses Doom as a resource.
That's fair, yeah.
Or as a cost in the same way that like Arcane Initiate does. I wouldn't say that's a payoff for it, but yeah, maybe like cards that trigger when you remove Doom from them, or you can put Doom on the cards that make you like think into the future a little bit. Like you can put Doom on them for an effect for a Dowsing Rod where you investigate. You can put 2 Doom on it to discover 2 extra clues, or 1 Doom to discover an extra clue, but you can't remove Doom from it until the next turn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even like the Blood of Thoth card that we were just talking about, if it was like what Bryn said, was just like it didn't exhaust on the first one, you're going to get actions eventually from this. Like that's already a better thing than what we like. That's something they don't have right now that we can use to take advantage of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really missing. Like the cards are there to play it, but there's nothing that makes you want to play it.
Well, it kind of reminds me of like what
Can't confirm. Marie Lambeau.
it's like one of those things where it's like big money before Circle Undone and like Clue Drop before Edge of the before Scarlet Keys, where it's like you have the pieces, but like we're missing that like last oomph to like give it that little push.
Yeah, no, I don't. I sympathize with designers a little bit. It's not an easy thing to design. Trying to balance the Doom not mattering versus like having it be relevant, and then like the feel bads of like I screwed my team because I'm stupid, but that's a player issue in my opinion. You should just play better. But
Yeah, use it as a learning lesson, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I should have done less Doom. Yeah.
you should have done that.
All right. We then have a Mystic with a 4 and Fist. I'm tired of a Mystic that has 4 brain and 4 book. Give me just one that has 4 Fist. That's all I want. Because I feel like there's a lot of these cards that they put out here, like the Enchanted Blade Purple, like even like Spirit of Thame, like even though it's not great, but like having like just like every one of them also living with 3 fist, it's like what's going on here? You know, I just want like at least one with 4 fists because I feel like it's gonna open up just a part of the Mystic card pool that there's pieces of that like apart from like a Kachi with the Enchanted Blade, no one's really doing anything with.
Yeah, like maybe like a 4/1, 4/3 guy, and he can like spend a charge from an asset you control during a test to get plus to that test, limit once per round or per test or something. I don't know how they want to restrict that, but he's like some guy who's so stupid he doesn't know he's doing magic.
Yeah. He just like thinks it's like Providence. Yeah. He's just like,
Yeah, he's like he's a straw man in a circus or something like that, and he goes to lift the weights or whatever, and like Agnes is like watching him and sees
she's like, wait a minute. I think that might be
sees
magic.
like tendrils come out and like help him lift it, and she's like, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, this is also, it didn't make the wish list today, but like the magic gunslinger type thing would also be like kind of sick to see. But Travis did bring up a big point. Dexter is a magician and he does sling guns.
He does that.
But he only has 3 fists.
He does only have 3 fists.
Yeah, but I mean, you can also sling fake or functionally guns.
Yes. I think that's a big thing too. It's just that spells are guns.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
And fingerprint kint's a spell. It's like all that kind of things. It's just all that.
There
but
would be a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
Overlap there, I think.
I want a Mystic with 4 fists. I'll say it one last time. Let's go to this next one. Travis, some neat spell tutors.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of cool things they could do with tutoring spells. I was flipping through the binder and I saw Word of Command, and I was like, my mind went to cards that maybe you could tutor a spell out of your deck, an event, or an asset rather, use the ability on it once, and then you have to discard it or shuffle it back in.
That card would actually be gas. Like,
Yeah.
that would be a great card. Yeah.
Or you put it into play and then you shuffle into your deck at the end of the round or something.
Man, I'm even just looking at it, right? Like, even like a practice makes perfect, where you just got to look at the top 9 and play a spell from it, and then it goes into your discard pile, even if it was an asset, would open up like Prescient, would open up like the Uncage the Soul 3, like all these things that I think would be like really cool.
Yeah, you can make even like 3 or 4 experience, have a look at like the top 6-9 cards, you choose a spell asset, do the thing on it, and then put it into your hand if you succeed.
Yep. Yeah.
That would be cool.
Like, that would just be like, that's a... Oh, can you imagine that version of the card? We mix it together where it's like, you get to do 3, 6, or like 6, 9, or like 12, depending on the encounter cards you put in front of you. Like all that kind of cool stuff, right? Because then it doesn't have to be as high on experience, right?
I just want a way to find rituals.
Yes.
I don't
That's all.
think we're ever going to get that.
Apart from the Friends in Low Places. That's like the only thing we
like-
have so far.
For what I can see in design perspective, rituals are spells they don't want you to tutor out.
And that's why I do like that rogues are able to, because rogues are like, I don't care about your, like, you know, the established rules, right? So they can do that instead.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that idea, though, of the one that you, like, put into your discard pile, though. Like, I think that's kind of hype.
Yeah, there's a lot of neat things they could do with the spell tutors.
Yeah. Also, just, like, tutors make your deck better, right? Like,
Yeah, it makes it more consistent, which
Yeah.
is something that you and I both enjoy.
Yeah. All right. A cycle of assets that care about leaving play. So this is one that I had. This is I think I mentioned this previously in a video, but there was a custom player card expansion that I checked out, and they had a cycle of mystic events that were like really minor in their effect, but whenever they left play, you got like a bonus, like a small one-time bonus when they left play.
Like an asset that comes up play, you can fight with your brain with it, and then when it leaves play, it does a damage or something.
Yeah, like stuff like simple things like that.
Okay.
And it was a very inspired set of cards because I saw like the amount of synergy that came with it, right? Like whether it be by playing new things like Dexter, like cycling them in and out. There's a lot of this thing in the Mystic class that is about like sacrificing. Like you can like also sacrifice your assets, which for a lot of Arkham has been about like just getting rid of doom, like you're getting rid of a downside. But it's like, what if it's also like the idea that this is part of your magic? We also saw that with the alien, the summoned servitor who discards a card when he enters play. There's a lot of pieces in this Mystic class, and like those small little things are going to read pretty minor, but then when you put it all together, I think it could be a really cool archetype that could exist.
Yeah, that would be a really interesting approach to economy as well, where they could have it when it comes like an asset that when it comes into play, you have to discard 2 cards. When it leaves play, you draw 4 or something.
Yeah, like that would be really cool.
So
Yeah.
it would be very flavorful, mystic wise too. Like you have to sacrifice something to do the ritual or whatever, and then you get the reward later.
Yeah, and then you got to make players feel smart because again, they're like, I'm going to kill my my Arcane Initiate, right? And like I'm actually smarter than the game, but that's like no, that's just it's like all that stuff that's really
Just
cool.
Just how it's done.
Yeah.
That's just design, baby.
If I kill David Renfield, he
Yeah.
doesn't.
But like, that would,
matter how much
I would
doom he
love that
has.
card. That would be a great card.
It'd be a lot of fun to play with, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. A mind wipe spell asset cycle. So this is a cool idea, Travis. What was this?
Yeah, this was like a sort of an idea for like the spell asset cycle that they print every cycle because they have to. Where you just investigate with your
Brain.
and then you fight with your brain, and then if you draw one of the tokens or whatever, it mind wipes the enemy or the location for the remainder of the turn or the investigation or something similar to Wither and Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Could also just be like they've printed. Apparently, they're printing like not full cycles of things. That could also just be an evasion card, which would be might be kind of neat.
I actually I think it would be kind of cool, right? Where like it's like the fight one can blank the enemy, the location, the investigate one blanks the location, and like the evade one could even just like blank a treachery in play too, like another like card in play. I think like stuff like that could be actually a pretty neat way to give them a bit of a new thing to explore while also just like feeling fresh.
Yeah, we could also get a cycle. If they could ever do multicolor cards again, the blue or the purple green ones could be like spells where you investigate and you can investigate with your brain if you want, and if you succeed by like 2 or more or whatever, you get to evade an enemy at your location, and then like the evade one does a damage to a guy, and then the damage one gets you a clue or something.
Yeah, like that kind
would
of
be
thing.
cool.
Yeah. And that'd be nice too, because then it could like succeed by a certain amount, get that actual
Yeah, like cheap shot on a card.
on an asset. Yeah. Make it a little bit
That'd be neat.
a little bit more leaving the binderable.
Yeah, it'd be there's
Cheap
a
shot's fine. It's just like very narrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many cool things they could do with the assets that aren't just what they choose to do.
I actually do think because we just talked about like the new ones from Drowned City, and
Yeah.
I think those ones are kind of neat because it opens up like a lot of different things you can do with it than just using them, which is also a positive and a negative. But like like having these things that I feel like, especially like since like Edge of the Earth, the spells haven't. We're going to be talking about this at the end of the video, but the spells have kind of been lacking that like oomph to make them like have that like mystic impact that they used to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. More paradoxical payoffs. So this is actually one I've been trying to build a paradoxical deck, and there's so many enablers. Like putting in bless and curse tokens, easy, right? Like you can just like they just fall off trees. And then there's a lot of great like bless payoffs and a lot of great curse payoffs, but like the paradoxical ones, there's like not really anything that's like there's a few things. We got like the aliens that just came out in Hemlock Vale, and that's cool.
You got the book that kind of is.
Yeah, but that one's better when you're kind of like just going hard on one.
Kohaku himself is as
Yeah.
well.
But like having like just like another big splashy effect, I think would be kind of fun to do. For Paradoxical is a very fun archetype, but I think it's easily the weakest archetype of the three, and that's just because its payoffs are less exciting.
It is also like much harder to make payoff when
Yes.
you want it to.
Yeah.
Than the other two, where you can kind of just like play a favor of the sun or a favor of the moon, and you're like, great, we're doing it when we want to.
Yeah. And with that one, like, to do that, you have to do both of it, but then, like, you
Yeah.
do it and you're like, I passed a test when the survivors are already, like, doing that.
Survivors
Yeah.
are just
That's
like, yeah,
Ancient
do
Covenant's
this.
Yes.
fault.
Yeah, that's very
not-
fair. That's not Paradoxical's fault. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it would be nice to have like a 3 experience 0 cost event or something that you play it after tokens are revealed, and you discover a clue for each bless revealed, and do damage for each curse revealed or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I do think that the aliens in... I call everything that's like a monster an alien. It's just my thing. But, like, the guys from Hemlock Vale, I think that's actually a really good Paradoxical payoff. Like, I think and it's actually, as we saw, very easy to actually get 2 of them out at once. Like, it's not as hard as I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
But I just want, like, more... Especially on, like, the lower end, too, so you can kind of, like, build into the bigger things as you get through.
Yeah, you can have like you get a spell that benefits you from doing like give it like a level 5 Armageddon or something that does an extra damage, or maybe not Armageddon. It's a bad example, but a spell that's like if you reveal the curse token, then you do an extra damage. If you reveal the bless and a curse, then you do another extra damage.
Yeah.
And like the same thing for the clues, you get an extra clue if you reveal the bless or whatever, and then you get a second extra clue if you reveal the curse
Yeah.
and the bless.
Yeah.
Something like that might be neat.
Yeah, for sure.
And the upgrade ones could be for each pair you revealed. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, that would be pretty hype. Yeah. All right. More prediction effects. So this is things like the prescient, but then also the crystal pendulum. So you had to do the art to get my brain to remember the name. Yeah. That's
like,
being
not,
35.
Not on token reveals, because that slows down the gameplay way too much. Like on, drawing a card from the Mythos, like before you draw it, what kind of trait does it have? Or is it an enemy or a treachery or whatever?
No, I want an asset that seals the first token that's drawn in every single test at your location, and then you draw another token. If it's the same one, they both get cancelled.
Sorry, what?
It's an asset, and whenever a token is revealed, the first token of a skill test is revealed at your location, you seal it on the asset, and then that
lost
person
again.
draws a second one, and if it's the same one as the one you sealed, it gets cancelled.
Sorry,
Otherwise,
I
it just goes back into the bag.
I did hear you the first time. I was merely demonstrating how much time we would be wasting with a card like that.
Yeah, you could choose to put Rex's Curse into your deck.
Let's go.
Like, there's nothing that makes me feel like I'm cursed as much as that.
Yeah.
It's pretty tough.
One thing I do like about this idea is that there's a lot of actually scaling that they can do to determine the power level of the payoff effect, right? Like if the effect is pretty mild, it can be like name the top card of your deck, like what type it is, right? So it's like a 1 in 3 shot,
Yeah.
And like that could be a pretty minor effect. But then it could be like a better one. It's like name the cost of like the card of the top card of your deck, or like the trait from the encounter deck. So there's a lot of like area they can explore to determine how the odds of the calling the shot
Yeah.
versus the payoff of the effect.
Yeah, so you can kind of just, it can be as good as you win the game versus like
Yeah.
draw a card.
Yeah. And then of course you can cheat it with other methods like Norman Withers, who can just like, do, but like I think that kind of stuff is
That'd be a good archetype for
like,
them.
yeah, I think that kind of stuff is good, where like some investigators can be better at other things because they cheat or their card pool allows them to cheat it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have a card like the
Do the hand.
it's the I one from Edge of the Earth. That lets you play a card or cancel a card.
Oh, foresight.
Foresight, where you just like, you reveal the top card. When you draw a treachery, you can reveal the top card in your deck, and if it has like a symbol that, if it could be committed to the test,
Oh,
of the
yeah,
treachery
yeah,
card,
yeah.
it gets canceled or something.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah. And
There's
that
so
could
many cool Mystic things they could do.
that could be. I mean, it's no surprise that also like the most commonly custom cards are Mystics because like they're really cool. They're a very cool class. All right. More sick ass unique artifacts from the old games.
Yeah, there's lots of cool items from.
The Sword of Saint Jerome.
Yeah, like the Golden Sword of Yahlah.
Yeah.
Or the alien brain canister.
Yes. Yeah.
The Miko brain case. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to be super good. I would like it if they're better than the Shining Travis Age.
Yes,
and
yeah.
the Elder Gods.
Yeah.
If we could do a step, but I understand you don't want to make them too good. If we could step up from those guys, that would be good.
Yeah, just like a middle ground, you know, between like not like broken,
And
but not like bad. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's lots of cool items there that I think would fit neat into the Mystic class. They let them to do things that they maybe wouldn't otherwise get to do.
We know the art exists, so they're going to have to come eventually, right?
I
Because
could just use it for the random garbage.
yeah,
though.
each cycle. I mean, yeah, it's true. They could be like story cards and all that.
Maybe the Golden Sword of the Outlaw will be a story unique card.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, that would be. I agree with
There's
this.
like a defense against the deep ones or whatever.
When you have to like defend it with the
one of the
sword,
story characters like here, and you're like, oh.
and then you're like, "I'm Rex," and they're like, "We don't care.
Or
You're
just-
still good with it."
No, it's just the perfect callback where you show up and a nameless guy has it. He just gets gorfed, and one of your investigators just like, neat.
Yeah. Yeah, it is like there's a lot of so many cool of these things. It'd be fun to see them in the actual card game as well.
Or the milk.
The milk, yeah.
I designed one of those.
You did. And the chocolate, strawberry, and plain.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little flavors.
All
I would
right.
love to see the milk make a.
Yeah. I mean, I think Shelby's going to be coming. So.
Hope so.
All right. Spells with drawbacks again. So this is our final thing for the wish list. This is the thing we've been kind of pointing at for this whole thing. But like, Shriveling, Rite of Seeking, Azure Flame, Clairvoyance.
Yeah, those 2 cycles.
Yeah, they have a drawback on them, and since then, like the drawbacks have gotten more narrow, like in the form of the Edge of the Earth ones, where like they can happen, but it's so rare. I do think that those ones, their drawbacks are like high, that they suck when they do happen, but it's so rare when they do. And then since then, it's kind of just been like, where have been these downsides on these mystic spells, right?
Yeah, the symbols in the bag used to be like a downside to drawing them, but ever since Jacqueline came out, it seems that they only exist as an upside.
Yeah.
We also wasn't just the assets that had them, like Astral
Yes,
Travel.
Astral Travel and the Blinding Light is another like event. Like we compare that to like what Spectral Razor became, and like Spectral Razor is obviously a very powerful card for the Mystic class and very good for the class because it made them more playable. But like that kind of seemed to have just come across all the design for like the Mystic class as a whole.
Yeah, they've completely lost that. Like, invoking the magic of Elder Gods is dangerous.
Yes, and it'd be good to see that again.
It would, because that's a really big part of Mystic design.
Yeah, because like I'm personally cool if it's like occasionally where like we get that design variance of like Sixth Sense and Wither. Remember when they came out, we were like, oh, this is cool.
It's kind of neat, yeah.
But then like we have to go back. Like the pendulum needs to like swing back the other way.
Yeah.
Because it also means that like I think now with Arkham they could make the effects strong, because I think we saw that in the form of like Brandicathuga, Blur, and Divination, where the effect is powerful, and the
Downside's like non-existent.
yeah, because it's just like it doesn't happen. But like if that was like, for example, if like Brandicathuga, which was like lose an action, was on a symbol token, it would be more relevant.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like finding that line between the two, because I think now at this point now people just play Brandicathuga because there's like no downside.
There isn't a downside to it. You don't even have to hurt the person you're attacking, which is
crazy. Yeah, and then also like again, you don't have to spend the charges unless you hit. So like it should be in a bit of more likely to do the things. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Mystic Week. I think tomorrow you get to see us play our Mystic decks, which is going to be good. We haven't done it yet, so we actually don't know how it's going to go.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. Yeah, you're Marie.
We're all gonna have fun.
Who the frick am I?
I don't know. I'm
Dexter?
You got a 5. You got a 5.
I think I'm Dexter. I think
Yeah.
I'm Dexter.
Right.
I'm Clue Agnes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're Dexter because you're looking for like what items you could play.
Yes.
Stupid support items.
Because I was yeah. I'm support Dexter. That's right. Let's go. I think I'm sealing shit. Yay! All right. We'll see you all for the next one. Thank you for everyone who's watching. Let us know what are your wish lists for the Mystic class down in the comments below. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. And as always, GG's.